today's video we're going to be creating this look, doing a first impression review on the brand new e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. I have some thoughts on there. I'll talk a little bit later about that at the end of the video, but I did do swatches for you guys as well as how I did create this retro type of look. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Wait, disclaimer, you guys, it's a judgment-free, drama-free, stress-free zone where we embrace the hot mess, and I do have my 15-year-old sitting right behind the camera, so God only knows what's about to go down. So let's just go ahead and jump into a little bit of information about this palette. Okay guys, so like I said, I did pick this palette up off of e.l.f.'s website. Now I'm not for sure, I kind of hair floating around here. I'm not for sure if this is going to be sold or in store at like Target or anything like that. But I did pick it up with a $5 off coupon, so I ended up paying $11 for this palette. This is the up close of the palette. As you can see, you get 18 shades and it is a mixture of mattes. And I do believe, I'll have to read on here, I do believe there's duochromes as well as shimmers. So like I said, I will go more in depth on my thoughts, on my first impressions on this palette. But a little information, it says the Retro Paradise is at your fingertips with this vibrant Bahamas-inspired eyeshadow palette. High shine metallics and ultra pigmented mattes and bright and neutral shades allow you to create your own tropical fantasy. I do feel like this is kind of like a play on the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, which as you guys know, I have found dupes for you guys. It's from Gerard Cosmetics. They also offer this palette. So I do feel like it is kind of a play on that. So if you do have the Natasha Denona Tropic palette or the dupe for the Tropic palette, which is a Gerard Cosmetics one, I think that you're already going to have these colors in your collection. And to be 100% honest, even though I don't mention this at the end of the video, to be 100% honest, if you have the dupe or the Tropic palette, I really just don't feel like you need this palette. And again, I'll tell you more about why towards the end of the video. So as far as that goes, a little bit more about it. It does say that the #1 ingredient is talc, and like I said, I picked this up for $11. You can get it for $14. I know I'm kind of rushing through this, guys. Sorry, I have to get my son to work. But as far as the application process goes and the swatches, let's go ahead and jump right into those. Okay, so here are all of the swatches of all of the shades. Even focusing so you guys can see. This black swatched really well. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this retro palette. I'm going to go ahead, I did prime my eyes already with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. And I'm going to go in with this shade up here called Canvas. And I'm just going to go ahead and set my entire lid. And there is a little bit of kick up, but the kick up doesn't bother me, I feel. And again, this palette is like $14. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the shade Dijon right here. It's this really pretty mustard shade. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Let's go ahead and go into that shade, and I'm going to just use this as my transition shade. And just have that right in. I'm using a fluffy brush, so I'm gonna get like more of a blown out type of look. A little underneath. And from there, I kind of really want to go in to these shades over here. I don't know how really to incorporate them. It's a little outside my comfort zone, but we're gonna go ahead and play around and try. Okay, so somehow I want to incorporate these. I felt like before they were more sheer, but let's just see. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go in with this Crease Pro, and I'm gonna go into this purple shade Tropicana, and I'm going to put that in the crease. Dab it in the crease like so. Yeah, see, it's not like a crazy pigmented shade. I feel like you're definitely going to have to build up on the shade, and I feel like maybe if I went in more with like a tacky base, I'd be able to get more of a payoff than what we're seeing here. It's definitely a sheer purple. Not bad, but I'm going to take whatever's extra and put it underneath the eye. Okay, so I want to try and incorporate this Baha Mar shade, this green. Let's go ahead and apply this, oh yeah, with the finger. You definitely get more payoff. yeah, you definitely get more of a payoff. Let's go ahead and do the entire lid with this green. And I will incorporate that Sip Sip blue shade. Outside my comfort zone we are. Okay, so it's going to be very similar to kind of like the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. There was like a, I want to say there was a mint green or something in there, and I felt like the payoff I got was the best when I caked it on with my finger. Caked is probably not a good word, but you know what I mean? When I applied it with my finger, I got the best payoff. And that's what you're going to get here. Really pretty. And I mean, remember, this is a retro palette, so I really kind of wanted to pull more of a retro look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, oh, this is such a beautiful creamy shade. Let me show you guys again this. Isn't that pretty? It's a very, very frosted shade. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of put it right over top from the inner and work it outwards of my lid. I am going to try this brush just to see if I can really build it up. Okay, that actually takes it away. Ooh, we don't want that. Oh, okay. I'm struggling here, guys. Yeah, I definitely think that if you have a tacky base, it's going to be better. And applying it with your finger is what is working best for me. Ooh, there we go. I'm really having to build it up. Going back over with the green, maybe even like a glitter base. Okay, so we got it back on there. Makes me wonder if it's going to have like a long, like there's going to be a lot of longevity here, because you guys saw just barely kind of trying to tap it, the shade just kind of went right off, even though I already had a base down. So I'm thinking you're definitely going to need a tacky base for this. So let's go ahead and work underneath the eye. I do want to just go ahead and use this shade right here and apply this under my eye. It's called Sandy Bum, and I'm just going to take a pencil brush and put that right underneath the eye, like so. I know maybe these are toppers, but this shade Sea Salt, oh, there it is. Okay, you really had to, maybe there was like some sort of something over top of it, because at first I wasn't getting any payoff. So I'm gonna try and do a little bit of this in the inner corner, the shade Sea Salt. Oh, there it is, okay. Yeah, I feel like some of these shimmers have like a glaze or a coating over top, and kind of like how the old highlighter by e.l.f. they had, and you kind of had to get that coating off in order to actually get the payoff. I'm going to put a little bit in my brow bone because, you know, why not? We're going retro here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hop off, I'm going to do my lipstick, my liner, and my mascara, and I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. Okay guys, so I am back with my finished look. As far as what is on my lips, I do have the Gerard Cosmetics Sugar and Spice liner, and then the Buttercup lipstick, and then I have the Kimchi doll, and then a little bit of the Ofra Cosmetics Smiley for Riley right in the center. So let's talk about my final thoughts on this first impression. And I tell you guys, I don't really like to do first impressions too much, especially when it comes to like cream products, foundations, things like that. But I feel like when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, I think we're a little bit safe, because you kind of know what you like as far as formula goes when it comes to eyeshadows. So I told you guys in the beginning of the video that I felt like this palette was kind of a play on the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, and I'm going to stand behind that. And like I told you guys in that part of the video, or in the beginning of the video, I feel like if you have the dupe by C-Color Cosmetics of the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, I would just stick with that. I mean, my first impressions on this, it was kind of a hit or miss palette. I'm going to hop up and show you guys the finished look, and I've only had this on maybe 20 minutes and it's already kind of dissipating. So if you see here, it was much bolder in the application process. So it's one of those things where I feel like it's very similar to the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, where you're going to need a tacky base in order to get some of these shades to stick. And I don't think that that's like the end of the world, that's the worst thing. But I do feel like there's other... hold on. I do feel like there's other palettes out there where you're not going to have to do that. And I know that this has been on sale quite a bit, as well as the Gerard Cosmetics is insanely inexpensive. I do have a coupon code, HOTMESS10, will save you 10% off of everything in Gerard Cosmetics. And I really like the Gerard Cosmetics formula as far as that goes, because it's just, one, it's more consistent, two, the longevity is definitely always there, and three, I don't feel like I have to tweak the way I do my eyeshadows in order to get things to stay. And that's what I feel like with this one in particular that I have to do. I feel like it's definitely different than the bite-size eyeshadow palettes that they had that I reviewed for you guys. I love those, and I know that it's kind of like a hit or miss on some of the palettes, but overall the little bite-sized palettes I feel like are a different formulation than this one. So I think the color story is pretty. I think that some of the shadows are really beautiful, but I just sometimes don't really want to tweak what I'm doing. I just want to throw a look on and go. And I feel like with some of the shadows in here, you're going to be able to do that, but I definitely was a little surprised with the pigmentation not being there as much. You know, I mean, there is some kick up in some of the shadows, but at the same time, there's not a lot of pigmentation there. And I was a little like thrown off by this shade and this shade. It's almost like they're toppers maybe, and I don't know, I had to like kind of dig off the coating on top in order to get a payoff. So I thought that was a little weird. So there are some inconsistencies here. I don't think it's a horrible palette, but I do think that there's other palettes out there that you're going to probably get, well, obviously longevity, but you're gonna enjoy a little bit more. Okay, so I wanted to just update you guys. I'm trying to think. I put this eye look on around 5 o'clock, and I don't know what time it is. Haley, what time is it?
7:29.
Okay, it's 7:29. There you go, guys. Look at this. Do you guys see how much it's faded? So I told you guys in the initial video that I was doing that I felt like it was really fading and everything, and I'm gonna have to, like I said, test it out and see if I just go in with a tacky base or something, if it just will adhere better and last longer, because as for now, it's really fading, and it's definitely, the pigmentation's gone. It's just gone. However, I am trying out this Becca foundation. This is the Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I love this. This is amazing. Okay, guys. Anyways, back to my outfit. Anyways, guys, that's my final thoughts on this. I'm sure I'll come back and still, you know, play around with some of the shades in this palette. I told you guys I did pick up some foundation and concealers and powders and things like that from e.l.f. So I'll be trying to do a almost full face of e.l.f. products. So hopefully decide to stick around, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. I'm uploading all the time, and I've been a bit more consistent on my second channel, Hot Mess Mama Vlogs. Love to see you over there. I have to run out the door and get my boy to work. He's standing here pacing. So anyways, I hope you guys are safe and well and having a wonderful day wherever you are. And until next time, kisses from Kentucky. Mwah!